This is ABC15 Mornings.
And your holiday weekend is off to a busy start for our first responders. Police in Scottsdale near Old Town investigating a triple shooting. And we know this one's deadly.
This week has been the worst week of the crisis in the emergency department so far. It was worse than the last week, which we thought was the worst week.
Oh, it's tough news here. Activating the crisis standard of care plan as hospitals in our state are seeing a steady rise in COVID-19 patients. We're getting a deeper look at how exactly they're handling all this.
And we say good morning to you on this Friday. Thank you so much for starting your day with ABC 15 Mornings. I'm Kaylee O'Kelly. Our Nick Saletti is social distancing from home. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Kaylee. Happy Friday to everyone who is watching. I know right now, of course, all eyes on that most accurate forecast. You want to know what today is like and Independence Day weekend. So let's send things over to meteorologist Iris Hermosillo, who has a sneak peek for us this morning. Oh, sorry, you might have heard Larry shake there. He was kind of shaking his collar off this morning.
It's all good, all good. Good morning, Larry, and good morning to you. Hey, as we start off the day, summer around here can be a little tough, but I think the monsoon always makes it a little bit brighter because we get to start off some days with clouds and beautiful views, and that's exactly how today has started. I want to share this photo with you, sent in to share at ABC15.com from one of our viewers in Scottsdale. Phyllis, thank you so much for sending this our way. Probably on your morning walk is when you captured this. You can see the canal there and that sun coming up behind the mountains with those clouds, just gorgeous. I'd still love to see your photos, by the way. If you have any, send them to share at ABC15.com. Now, when you step outside, you'll notice the clouds and you're going to feel the thickness in the air. Dew points have climbed. Moisture has increased. Our dew point in the low 60s puts our relative humidity at 44%. It's also warm out there with temperatures in the 80s in most valley cities. We've got a slight chance for a shower or thunderstorm between now and about 10 a.m. Temperatures this afternoon back into the hundreds, up to 106 for a high today, and staying humid on this Friday. We'll talk about what to expect for the weekend in that 7-day forecast.
Okay, Iris, thank you. And happening right now, Scottsdale police are investigating an overnight shooting that left 2 people dead and another one in the hospital. ABC 15's Carla Navarrete live for us at the scene this morning near Indian School and 82nd Street. Carla, what are we finding out from police?
Oh my gosh, Nick, I can tell you this is quite a story. It all started at a Circle K in the north part of the Scottsdale over at the Loop 101 in Shea with an armed robbery there. Then the suspect went off to a shooting over at an armed robbery over at a Circle K in Mesa and then came here. All 3 Circle Ks, all armed robberies. Now, he was demanding money from the clerk at this location and then started firing rounds at the clerk. When someone, an innocent bystander, walks into the store and is shot and killed. Then as the suspect is leaving the store, another innocent bystander comes in and actually shoots the suspect dead. That innocent bystander, we're told, is in the hospital in critical condition, also suffering some wounds from the gun battle exchange with the suspect. Scottsdale police telling us this morning they are going to be here for a while. This is quite an extensive situation that they're having to track. Now, they did tell me that they did have communication about the border between here and Mesa and that suspect traveling from the stores here in Scottsdale to Mesa and back. Quite a story out here. If you're in this area off of Indian School, east of Hayden and west of the 101, if I were you, I would avoid Indian School altogether. There's obviously McDowell and Thomas Road if you need to get in and around this area. We're going to stay out here and bring you any more details that we find out from Scottsdale police this morning. For now, reporting live in Scottsdale, I'm Carla Navarrete, ABC 15 Arizona.
Carla, thank you. Also, overnight Phoenix police investigating a deadly shooting there. We want to show you video from the scene just after midnight at a convenience store near 19th Avenue and Southern. Officers not releasing a lot of information right now, but we're told that a man was killed here.
Well, an internal memo shedding light on what our healthcare workers are dealing with as we continue to see this surge of coronavirus cases and hospitalizations. That letter from Banner Health detailing the crisis standards of care plan. And our Mark Thompson is following this for us today. We're learning Arizona, Mark, is the first state in the nation to activate this type of plan.
Yeah, good morning to you, Kaylee. And Arizona is also the only state right now that has activated this plan, and it's never been activated before in Arizona. This, as you mentioned, as the state is dealing with that surge in coronavirus patients. Now, this plan was activated on Monday, days after a disaster committee made up of healthcare leaders across the state requested it. The state's Dr. Kara Christ approving that very detailed plan. It's a plan based on algorithms that ranks or weighs a patient's chances for survival and recovery. This is to help doctors decide who gets what priority care and the life-saving resources like ventilators and who doesn't. Will Humble, the state's former public health director, telling us the crisis care plan is to help make these tough decisions in a uniformed approach.
And that means there will be patients that are in such a condition that you just can't offer that ICU service to that patient when you know that there's another patient that might actually live.
And that plan also gives care providers an extra layer of protection from liability. Two of the state's largest hospital systems, Banner and Dignity Health, tell us that they are in Tier 2 of this plan, which is surge mode, or basically finding out about available bed space. Tier 3 would be triage mode. And according to an internal memo from Banner Health, they tell their employees that they will see some changes in staffing, alternative sites for patients, utilization of different equipment, and providers playing different roles. Now, it is important to point out that no hospital system right now is in triage mode, and none of these hospitals at this time are having to make those very tough life or death decisions. But we'll stay on top of this as the number of cases continues to surge. Reporting live this morning, Mark Thompson, ABC 15 Arizona. Back to you.
All right, Mark, you talked about those number of cases. Where do we stand right now? The state adding another 3,000 confirmed cases in the latest report from the health department, and that brings our total to more than 87,000 across Arizona. And tragically, nearly 1,800 people have died because of the virus. The percent of positive tests higher than normal yesterday at 30%. It is more accurate to look, though, at a weekly percentage of positive tests.
Today's tests came back at about 30% positive. Now that's the daily reporting. So that I need to always preface that with the fact that because this is daily reporting, a lot of these tests and cases are filled in over a period of 7 days. So while we look at that number and we say, oh, 30% today, it does not at all mean that 30% of tests yesterday came back as positive.
So that's just one of the topics discussed during the daily Facebook Live discussion with Katie Rammel and our ABC 15 data analyst Garrett Archer. These things are fascinating. You can join in on the discussion on the ABC 15 Arizona Facebook page.
Yeah, we're so grateful they're doing this for everyone, too. We're all learning so much in the process, so thank you guys for that. Hey, Varsity Tavern in Tempe on the verge of losing their liquor license this morning. An investigation by the state found that the bar wasn't complying with coronavirus health guidelines. So the business is actually accused of allowing employees to keep working after they tested positive for COVID-19 and keeping it under wraps. The bar could face criminal action and fines for any violations.
Well, married for 25 years, in business together for almost all of that time, this couple is now battling the coronavirus together. Joe and Myra Aiello own 3 restaurants near 7th Street and Thunderbird, and like many others, they struggled to make ends meet during the shutdown. They did reopen in May. They closed again in June when cases started to spike. Days later, both testing positive for COVID-19. Their daughter's kind enough to sit down with us, saying that Myra does seem to be improving, but Joe, he's now on a ventilator.
Last Saturday, the doctors and nurses told us that we needed to say our goodbyes to our dad and our last words to him, and that was obviously hands down the hardest part of all of this.
I mean, their strength, right? Just to visit with us and talk about it. Doctors said that they were not sure if Joe would make it through the weekend, but he pulled through. Certainly has a still long way to go. Our thoughts and prayers with that family. The restaurant has since seen an outpouring of support on Facebook and even from people who left messages on paper hearts all over the dining room windows.
And you hear that, that's just so heartwarming to hear that people would actually go and do that. Just shows you how much that restaurant and those people mean to our community. Well, while the coronavirus cases continue to skyrocket across our state and also the country, Arizona Congressman Andy Biggs is calling for the White House Coronavirus Task Force to be disbanded. In a statement, Representative Biggs writing in part, quote, Dr. Anthony Fauci and Dr. Deborah Birx continue to contradict many of President Trump's stated goals and actions for returning to normalcy. This is causing panic that compromises our economic recovery. We can protect our most vulnerable from the COVID-19 outbreak while still protecting lives and livelihoods of the rest of the population. It's time for the COVID-19 task force to be disbanded so that President Trump's message is not mitigated or distorted. Dr. Deborah Birx was actually just here this week meeting with Governor Doug Ducey. Meantime, state leaders announcing a $9 million plan to keep Arizonans safe from the coronavirus when it comes to Election Day. It'll be here before you know it. Actually, 4 months from today, in fact. Well, the funds coming from the Federal CARES Act, this is how it's going to be broken down. About $5 million will go towards increasing the number of ballot drop-off locations and curbside voting. $1.5 million will go to increase early voting in rural and tribal communities, and another $1.5 million will be used for education campaigns, and the rest is going to buy that critical personal protective equipment and cleaning supplies for poll workers and voters. The deadline to register to vote is Monday. That is going to be for the primary that's in August.
10 minutes past, and up next here on ABC 15 Mornings, the latest jobs report showing a glimmer of hope in the economic recovery. We take a closer look at how long it could take to get this country to recover those jobs lost.
Plus, if you're planning to hold even a small gathering for the 4th of July weekend, health experts have some key safety tips they're urging everybody to follow.
ABC 15 Desert Drive Time, sponsored by Accident Law Group.
And it is almost 6:15 on this Friday as we show you what's going on there. This is the 10 eastbound right there at the curve on the 60 near Arizona Mills Mall. Pretty quiet here on this Friday as we head into Independence Day weekend, Iris.
Absolutely. Well, as we talk about that most accurate forecast, we certainly are kicking off this long holiday weekend with some pretty nice conditions in the form of clouds and some more moisture in the air. So I say nice because it's a nice change, right? I want to share this other photo that came into our inbox, share at abc15.com. Mark from Surprise, always coming through with the great sunrise photos. And I know he was looking forward to taking some photos of some clouds in them, those monsoon clouds. And that's what he got this morning. So beautiful shot coming in from Surprise. And again, I'd love to see the sunrise photos from your neighborhood. Share at abc15.com is the place to send them. I've got another one I'll show you here in the next half hour. 85 degrees is our temperature at Phoenix Sky Harbor. So it is a little bit of a warm start. Plus, we're adding the humidity into the mix. So be mindful of that as you make those outdoor plans this morning. You might sweat a little bit more. Make sure you're taking plenty of water with you. It's not going to be as comfortable as you head outside. Winds right now out of the east-southeast at 8 miles an hour with clouds across the valley. Dew points have climbed in central and in southern Arizona. That's where you're seeing those dew points in the 50s to 60s, an indication of that boost in monsoon moisture. And as you look at that moisture forecast, you're going to see a lot of green still on the map, even through this afternoon and evening. So it's going to stay humid today, but then drier air will move in time for the holiday weekend. And I think we'll be done with storm chances for the most part across Arizona as we head into the weekend, specifically here in the valley too. So as you look again at that dew point forecast, it's going to be a humid Friday, and we've got to watch for a stray shower or thunderstorm this morning with that lingering moisture. So far, still pretty quiet on Desert Doppler radar. There is a 10% chance for rain in the valley, though, this morning between now and about 10 a.m. This morning, we're still tracking a few showers out near the Navajo Nation and the Four Corners region. As we look across the rest of the state, it's pretty quiet in western and in southern Arizona. Today, the best opportunity for rain will be in that northern pocket, but we may again see a stray shower or storm develop here in the valley this morning. Then going into this afternoon, here's 1 o'clock on Futurecast. You see some of those showers and storms along the rim up by the Grand Canyon. A heads up if you're planning on driving to the canyon today, just know that you've got to look out for thunderstorms. Lightning could, of course, be dangerous, gusty winds, pockets of heavy rain. So make sure you've got a place to go indoors as soon as you start to hear any rumbles of thunder. Today for the valley, we've got that 10% chance of a shower or thunderstorm, again, mainly this morning. We're drying out tomorrow. Sunday looks sizzling hot, and Monday still looks dry. Temperature-wise, we're at 85 right now in Phoenix, still in the mid-80s also at Lake Havasu, 61 this morning in Prescott, and good morning to you in Globe. You're waking up to 70 degrees. We haven't seen many 70s across the valley today, so it's certainly a warmer start with low to mid-80s across most of the Phoenix metro area, 84 in Tempe, 82 right now in Goodyear and in Laveen. Here's how the rest of your day shapes up and how quickly we'll warm. We'll see that 10% chance for rain through 10 a.m., temperatures in the mid-90s by 10 a.m., upper 90s by lunchtime, then the hundreds through the afternoon with a high today of 106 degrees, a little warmer than it was yesterday. 105 to 106 in most valley cities today, triple digits in central and in western Arizona, 80s and 90s for much of northern Arizona, with Flagstaff topping out at 78 this afternoon. Then for your 4th of July, your Independence Day, 109 for a high on Saturday. Sunday, we reach 111, and then those highs stay near 110 pretty much every day next week, with warmer mornings too, only cooling into the low to mid 80s each day.
Iris, thank you. Let's take a look at your top stories this morning at 6:18. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi calling for the U.S. to restore and expand sanctions against Russia following her briefing on an alleged Russian bounty program that reportedly was going to pay the Taliban to target American troops in Afghanistan. The White House claims the intel about the bounty reports wasn't fully verified by the U.S.
FedEx joining the call for the NFL and owners of the Washington Redskins to change the team's name. FedEx, by the way, a key team sponsor, so they've got some pull here. They own naming rights to their home stadium, FedEx Field, just outside of D.C. No word yet, though, from the owners of that team on the name change request.
A new report shows it could take years for the U.S. economy to recover from the coronavirus. The Congressional Budget Office just releasing its 10-year forecast. It estimates that unemployment won't return to pre-pandemic levels for at least 10 years. The CBO also revising its forecast for overall economic growth, predicting the deficit could quadruple sometime this year. Well, during the holiday weekend, local and federal health officials are asking everybody to keep gatherings to smaller groups or close family members. If you are planning a backyard barbecue or maybe a swim party, there are some extra steps that they recommend. Take a listen.
This virus loves to spread in enclosed spaces. So if you can keep it in outside, in the backyard, open spaces, and that even makes it even harder for this virus to spread it.
Well, doctors say to spread your tables out and also remind guests to wash their hands pretty often. They also recommend using disposable plates and cutlery. That way there's no cross-contamination or anything like that.
Well, drive-in movies, as you have seen, are making a comeback right now during this pandemic. Now, Walmart is getting in on the fun. Next month, 160 stores are going to be turning parts of their parking lots into drive-ins. Walmart says they will show family-friendly movies with special appearances from filmmakers and celebrities and concessions delivered straight to your car. The company hasn't said which locations will be doing this, but we've seen them pop up here in the valley. They're at the Princess, up near Frank Lloyd Wright. Places, Chef Farms offering one as well. So something to do, obviously, while social distancing here locally.
Yeah, it's like a throwback to the 50s. I love it. Hey, cars lining up again as people in our community wait for hours to get a coronavirus test, some even being turned away because supplies ran out. So will we see those same troubles today?
Plus, lawmakers in our nation's capital at odds over relief for Americans during this public health crisis. And one of our state's top representatives is weighing in on what she is fighting for you.
Sometimes hanging something up on the wall can be difficult, so today we're testing out a product that's supposed to help you hang frames, mirrors, decor, and more.
Introducing Hook It, the fast and easy way to hang anything, big or small, on your wall.
This patented design allows the hook to grab and drop, holding whatever you want to hang in place.
It's supposed to fit snug against the walls, so we've got some testing to do.
Our package is a 32-piece set.
But are they strong? Hook, yeah.
We'll see about that. It comes with 8 small hooks holding up to 25 pounds, 6 medium hooks that can hold up to 60 pounds, and 2 large hooks, each allegedly strong enough to
hold up to 75 pounds, so you can stop searching for a stud.
It also comes with 16 nails. Here we go. Starting with a small hook, we nailed it in at a downward diagonal angle. Then we put the hook out 90 degrees. We hung the picture frame and it was easy and worked well. But it was definitely not flush with the wall. Now, the same process for the medium-sized hook. This fancy decor is heavier, but it held strong. Now it's time for the big test. Around 60 pounds in a crate. We nailed in 2 big hookets, and when we placed the crate with the weight, we were shocked. It was secure. When we took the crate off, though, the hookets were extremely loose. Since a single large hooket is supposed to hold up to 75 pounds on its own, we nailed a single hooket into another part of the wall and tried again. This time, when we placed the crate, it fell immediately. Another claim, hookets are supposed to be damage-free. That's not true either. If you don't have an anchor in, and that's not required, the hookets can move and harm the wall. So, where does the hookets hanging system rank on our Bowl or No Bowl meter? I'm going to let you decide. Though they live up to the claim of hanging some things easily, it could not live up to the claim of holding up to 75 pounds without additional support. It wasn't flush with the wall, and it did some damage. So let us know what you think. Email me at smartshopper@abc15.com.
All right, Chelsea, thank you for that. Well, you know the holiday weekend is here, and with this high fire danger and the coronavirus pandemic, Independence Day festivities are going to be different here in the Valley this year, Nick.
Yeah, so ways to celebrate, though, together while apart and safely. A lot of places are planning to do those drive-in style fireworks shows we talked about, like the Scottsdale Princess Resort, also Fiesta Mall in Mesa, and Scottsdale's 4th at Westworld.
Now, there's not going to be a fireworks show at Tempe Town Lake this year, so the Kiwanis Club is going door to door, and they're leaving families 2 sparklers and an American flag. They've been doing this for a couple weeks. The goal is to have everyone go outside, light the sparklers right there on Saturday night at 9 o'clock.
And we have a full list of 4th of July festivities along with information on which events are canceled. Just head to abc15.com/things to do.
Just getting creative this year. Up next at 6:30, some Arizona gyms refusing to close after Governor Ducey's latest executive order. And now the state is vowing to up the consequences if business owners do not start complying today.
Plus, a deadly shooting investigation in Scottsdale this morning, and we're now learning this all started with an attempted armed robbery at a gas station.